I'm going to start with drawing a cartoon. Get a color face. I'm going to use a hard edge brush to start. I think I want to do Charlie Brown. So this is gray. Let's see, image, mode, grayscale. Huh. I'm going to start over. So I'm going to try to get the shape of his head right, because he's more like bigger at the bottom of his head than at the top. And if it was round, it would be easier. I guess clicking is easier because I don't want to add anything. Just dragging around. So I think that's the shape of his head, is like it's more towards curved towards the back of the head, and then this side would be the face. Okay, that looks pretty close. So now when I have this, I can select this area and do line art. I thought that was okay. Start with the line art on a new layer. I guess that be layer 2 for this, and then change the color for the line art. I just do stroke, but you can see it's on the edit, it's stroke, and I'm going to do 2 pixels. That's the thickness of the line for a 2 pixel brush, so you can match it with a brush that's 2 pixels. Looks kind of heavy, but I guess it's because what I have is small. I'm going to redo that. Go with the single one, see what a single looks like. I'm not sure if that's enough. I'm working with a small canvas again. It makes it easier to see that it's possible. I think I'll go with 2 pixels. 2 pixels is like in between 1.5, but I guess 2 would do. So now that this is the line art, I can do line hid. Then I get out a brush or pick a brush that's 2 pixels. Then let's see, probably better off if I'm closer to it. And that's on the paint. I'm going to add another one. Deselect that and draw his hair. Let's see, it's like this. Probably too tall. That's pointed on that side. I did. Let's see. Curve. Make big loop, a little loop, and then back. And then his nose is up here, up high, and it curves down, and then kind of like that. Probably too long for him though. Too sharp. It's been a while since I drew cartoons, so it's still too long. Not the shape. It's a, well, it's probably not in that angle. It needs to be more pointed here. So I guess I'll work at it. That looks more like it. Of course, that didn't work out good. Anyway, it's sort of Charlie Brown's eyes. Or nose. I was thinking eyes because I was going to draw them next. Let's see. Give him a face like this. And then his mouth is at an angle, but it's low. And this part of his mouth in the middle is like almost like a bird beak because they have it curve out. So that's where whenever he has his mouth movement or mouth shape. They either have his upper lip curved up, his upper lip curved down, and the bottom lip curved up. So I'm making it more like one-sided on this. Now he has an ear. And then a curve for an ear on this side. Trying to remember everything, so I hope I do it all right. Make it look like Charlie Brown if it's right. Now I use your eraser and remove this line. Wait a minute, this is the head. There. That probably should be curved more right there. Now make this a little stronger. Now I can add this color behind here. I guess that's Charlie Brown's head. Might look a little fat. Guess I can fix that. Merge these two together. That looks better. I try to do a lot of the cartoon stuff kind of quick, but it takes practice to doing the same character to help you actually draw them better each time, because you know what you're doing, and I'm more or less just messing with it because I haven't done it in a while. Zooming in helps me control, because these pixels, they're like you can get stuck in a rut for the pixels, so you're not really have that much of a range to make mistakes, since pixels help you guide. Like these are pixel lines and stuff, but this is what it looks like when you zoom out. So that's what I want. Now I'm going to make his neck. I'm going to hold shift down, just draw a straight line. So he wears a shirt, and I'm gonna draw it's probably a little bit too low. His neck's usually probably shorter. I'll move up a little bit. And this part, actually this probably should have come down. I think I'll edit this, bring it down. Like this. Well, it wasn't going to work there anyway. So I'll just start over here. Just try to get it up higher over this way. That was too much. So I can remove this. I'll just make a new one. So now I have to go with this right here. Is you usually don't have a point like this in there. So I'll try to bring this down and curve it a little more. Like that. Looks a little sloppy, but I guess it could work. If I bring this lower. get this out there farther. I guess that's all right. Now I'd have to do his body, and I think I'll use the selector tool this time, and these are the colors, so not the line art, so I'm going to do it this way. So his backside is more downward like this, and it's not that tall. It's almost the size of his head, and I usually make him look too fat, but he has like a belly on him, and it comes in for his small chest. So I'm going to go like this. Hit it, undo. Now I can get in closer and make it add more, subtract more. I'm going to hit the Alt key here and subtract some of this. Get it down lower. And then add some more curve here. Now I'm gonna, his shirt is yellow. It's like an orangish yellow, but this would be close enough for now. And then above this, I'll do line art that can be trimmed. Get it zoomed out so I can select it all. There, delete that part. Now I can get back to the coloring. Oops, that's the wrong place to put the color. Probably wouldn't hurt to label these. I double click on it and write yellow. And skin for this one. No, not that there. So now I'm just trimming it. And I can see a place that needs a little more yellow. Small tip right there. And this looked like black area right here. That was probably part of the line art. So I use the eraser there. Now I pick up this color, add it to the skin. You can probably go with another layer over top of that. Is do this color, a little bit lighter. Go through here. For a shadow. And trim that off of his chin. And I put it on a different layer because I figured that I might want to lighten it. And that looks a little better. Now I'm going to change the color of this yellow. Image adjust, hues and saturation, and then go with a little more of a red. That looks about right. And I might want to lighten it. Adjust brightness. And then do the same thing for his skin. The skin could be a little more red. Like that. And then lighten it. That looks about right. So we're getting somewhere. You see this line right here, it could probably be improved. Just knock off some of these corners. See, when you work with the pixels, it helps to have it the pixels to help you draw lines straighter. See, this right here looks a little bit heavy right in here. Oops. You want to take a chunk out of it. There, just wanted to fade it a little bit, make it thinner. See, that's better. Now I'm going to do the zigzags. And let's see, this yellow here. And what's this layer? Oh, that's the shading. So I do skin shade. Since this is going to be down here with the colors, I'm going to go ahead and start zigzagging. Let's get this brush here. Let's see. Go start here. Go up. I want to get like 3 of them. Like something like that. So I'm imagining spacing it out. And I also want to get it to curve around. That one probably not high enough. Looks like that one is going to need some edit. So I'll just get it close and go over it to improve it. This right here looks like it could come over here like this. And I'll just trim this. And then add more black to it. And this up here needs to go more like this. And I'm going to select inverse and trim the outside. Just a little bit right there in the corner. Now I'm going to get this line straight. I think I'll just draw it. And then this needs to come back because it's not really that thick enough through here. There. So there's a zigzag. Zig. Zag. So let's see how it's looking. Looking more like Charlie Brown. Now we want to do, see where this is. That's part of the line art. So I just merge it down and call it line art. I hit Control E to merge down. So now you can see that I'm keeping these things separated. But if I want to find out which one layer is on, like this right here, I want to find that. I right click there, and then it said I have skin in that area and I have skin shade in that area. And right here I have zigzag and I have yellow in that area because the yellow is underneath the zigzag. So if I click zigzag, I can hide and show it. And up here I got skin and I can hide skin. So that's when you got a lot of layers, it helps that you know that this selector tool, when you got the selector tool, you can right click and find a layer. So when you got it named, it makes it easier. And if you don't, then you have to guess at what's in that area. Like if it's only one thing in that area besides the background, then you only have one choice to select that. That's what you're looking for. And things that's like shaded, let's get this brush here and do something like this. So when you do shade and you're looking for what this is, because this has been erased, and there's just a little tiny piece of it there. It's like you don't see much of it. It's just like this little shade, and when it gets too small, it can't detect it. Let's see, I got yellow in the background, so it's on the yellow layer, so it can still detect that. Now right here, background, and I hide the background, and let's see if it can detect. There's yellow, but right here it can't detect that little trace. It's really light in there. It don't there's a little bit, there was just enough on there. There was just enough on there to know that that was yellow layer in that area. Right here, it don't detect that. It's too light. This area right here, that's too light. So if you're like doing a real light fog, then with a real light, lighter than that, like this, you see that on there? It don't detect it. There's not enough pixels filled to detect that. It probably detects that, yeah. So there's like the limit between that and that, what it can detect. So I'm just delete. Now I gotta do his sleeve. I think I'll have his arm back like this. Go right there. And this would be over top of the line art, or else I remove the line art for that. So I guess the best thing to do would be remove the line art for that, and I'll move this up here, so it's going to be part of a shoulder. So line art, delete, and this yellow, I want to go over the zigzag, unless I delete the zigzag in that area, which I can do that. Now I fill it with yellow. Pick up this yellow. And then stroke it. Wait a minute, gotta get black. Edit. Well, I don't want to do it on the color line art. I don't want to do it on the line art. I want to be able to trim it. Okay. Stroke. So now I see lines I want and lines I don't. Let's go back to there. So now I'm going to have to do his arm. His arm is sort of like an oval shape in this position. So it'd be like, I could probably do it with a brush. And pick a skin color. Might as well merge this down for the sleeve. Well, I'll wait, because I'm do this arm right here. Oh, that's 2%. Edit, step back, edit, step back. And then go with the hard brush. That might be a little bit too big. Okay, it says arm comes down like this, but it curves up like that. So we want an oval to start with. Let's use this, do an oval. And fill it. Then I can work with it. And then get rid of this. And bring it down here and rotate it. Have his arm in this angle. Of course, his arm had to be shorter because he needs his hand in there. And I'm going to remove this black line right here. And trim this off. See, that's that layer. And then make his arm round right through here. It looks like there's still a line in the way. And this part, well, this part on his hand to curve back. Make sure I'm working on the same thing. There, like this. That's curve of his hand. Curve back. So his thumb is inside where you don't see it. And then I get smaller brush. It's too small. Do like fingers, like this finger, this finger, this finger, and his little finger. Oops, too much. Then do that to his hand. I guess his fingers would be a little bit too small. But I can knuckle them up. So now the line art. Black. pen stroke. Wait a minute, this is still this, right? Yep, don't want to do it there. Okay. So now I get back to the 2-pixel brush. And draw his fingers in there. And it looks like right here, I can see it don't look like it right here, but it's showing that there's a line, little line sticking out. Looks like a faded line right here that's sticking out. There. Now I can hide his hand. Let's do arm. Skin. And this is his whole sleeve. Arm line art. That's that part. Now I can hide his arm so I can see here. So when I do his pants, so his pants is black, and I'll just go like this, select some short stuff so that it can look curved, and try to make it smaller towards the front. And I just follow this line. Edit. And let's see. I didn't see fill. Oh, it's because I'm not on anything. This line art will be good. Edit. Fill. So now I get his arm back. Usually his fingertips comes down to his pants, and I can see that his pants needs to be a little bit longer. So that means I'm going to have to add to it. Rather than do that, I'll just get a corner on it. And another corner over here, or a line. And then use a larger brush. And just draw it. There. Now let's see how his fingers come. Yep, that's more like it. I guess we could do a lump for his shoulder. So we can add that to his line art. I can see yellow coming through on the outside edge. This is the line art, and this is the yellow. And the line art, and go with 2 pixels again. and make his shoulders right here. See if this looks better. Yellow. They probably don't have that much detail in it, but I guess that's like it. It's just that this right here looks like it's a point, like this line is coming into this other line, and don't want that. Oops, edit, undo eraser, line art. That's what I want to trim. It didn't do it again. Line art. There. That line looks kind of heavy, and this other line don't look that heavy. I think I'll go over this line again with 2-pixel brush. Oops. Undo. That ought to look better. So now need his legs and feet. So I'll just draw some straight lines starting right here. And his shoes look kind of like Subway sandwich breads. So it's like, wait a minute, that's not right. It needs to come all the way out here, so I'll start here. And get that up higher. Edit, undo. Then get this foot. I think I'll probably better off undo brush and I'm better with this direction, I guess. Then his heels need to come back like this. And let's see, undo that. And that second line I didn't look good. So now it's pretty much straight because it's like flat ground since it's 3D. I mean, not 3D. That's probably a little bit too straight. I think I'll just draw it. Yeah, came up. There. And then this is probably sticking out too far. I'll cut that back. And get that down farther, right there. So now it's sort of like a bread, but this is curved up too far. That's better. Now I guess I'll do this loop here to add that 3D or 2D like curve. And then I have to make his socks. And another sock. And that was curved up too much because it met this other one. And then his shoelaces are like swirls, is like swirl. I mean, let's do this with a 1 pixel brush because the shoelaces are finer line art. And I can see that this right here probably needs to be stronger. Okay, 1 pixel brush. Like this. That's what the shoelaces look like. So that's the line art. Now this right here looks still look messed up. So I guess I'll trim it so that it's not so thick through here. Let's see what that looks like. Looks like the front's thick right here. And this is kind of thin, but need 2 pixel brush. There. So now we're going to color it. I'm going to have brown for his shoes, so I'll just make a layer yellow, brown, and he's got this yellow for his socks, so I'll do that. So you can see that when I'm drawing underneath the line, it makes it easier to fill in and stuff. So it makes the line art easier. Just the line art covers the edge of it, the colors. And then I'm going to use this, well, it's probably like a gray brown, so I guess I'll mix a color. That was, I don't know whether that was a mistake or not. Oh, that was eraser. That's good. Wasn't the brush. Brown. Now the brush. Do with a lower flow. Go with the this right here. There. Pick up that brown. And paint it in. Could be lighter. Get up in there. And then his skin. Because the skin looks lighter down there. It's the same color. See? It's an illusion, I guess. See, that color is what I pick up. And the color of his face is the same thing. It didn't change. Now that I have it picked up and painted here, but it's the same. Just looks lighter because it's a smaller area. And there's Charlie Brown. Now I can just play around with it, add in the background. Let's see. Go with the light brush. Ooh, skin shade. Undo brush. Background. Let's start a new layer above background. Add some gray in there. Add some light blue. Pick up some light blue and come down here. Make it like a royal blue. Pick up that light color. Add some white in there. Then use a higher flow with a smaller brush. And I think this blue right here might be better. Just get a mix in between. And just throw in some dabs there. Make a turbulent cloud. And then the top part of the cloud, and fill this up with the blue sky. And then do some white. Probably want to do our lower flow. Just scribbling around. Trying to keep this white up high and then fade it in a little bit on the downside. Then I can do a little bit stronger. Use a smaller brush. Add more details to this cloud. And then take this gray here and smear it around for like rain cloud, rain coming down. And well, I don't want to mess with that, so I think I'll just use this selector tool. I like this part, maybe less than that. And then edit, free transform. And that didn't work. Then I'll just cut it off. Delete. Delete. Edit. Free transform. There. So now we have that. We have to get some grass in there. And go with a stronger flow there. Well, looks like his legs might be alright, but I think the color for his legs was a little bit thin. I think they're transparent because they're showing some green through there. So, do this again, skin and 100%. There we go. Now that's better. Guess we can do some small lines through there with the 1 pixel brush. Make some little patches of grass. I don't see the brush. There's barely can see it. Oh, that's undo brush. I need black. Well, I guess if I start drawing, I can see the line. I guess I don't want that much of a flow. I want the lines to be lighter. That's about right. Now, I think I can see it. Okay, right there. And I guess like this. Kind of hard to see what I'm doing here. Don't want just like zigzag stuff. This is on skin. I don't want it on skin. So there's a bunch of lines trying to get it somewhere close. And I'm going to have to fade it because that looks too strong yet. I use the eraser and go with the large eraser, then lower the flow. That looks better. So then I want some green in there. I guess I can pick up this green right here and go with a bigger brush. That's look more like it. So I guess this should explain a little bit about cartoons, drawing cartoons using the stroke and shapes. You create the shape, let the lines do the work.